Be successful in life and in your relationship. Guys, this is Nancy Mitchell with Love Guru, your guide to better relationships. And I want to go deep. I want to go deep in your thoughts, in exactly what you need to make sure that you have a better life and a better relationship. So I have a whole lot of series coming up, and I'm starting this. I think I have another series 1, but this is going to be another series 1. Okay. So I'm just going to redirect it just a little bit more into psychology and break it down into why we do the things that we do and how is it that we can change and make it better to actually make sure that we have a better life and a better relationship throughout our life, and make sure that we feel like super happy going through life. Okay, there is going to be 2 more. I can't see, it's not only 2, but these are going to be the 2 main things, right, that you need to make sure that you start doing, right? And it's going to seem a bit silly. It's going to seem a bit too simple. It's going to seem a bit like, really? This is really what I need to do? But I'm telling you guys, listen up and just follow my series, okay? I guarantee you will learn so much that you're going to be so surprised of the little simple things that we do on a daily basis that changes our life and our decision making that we do, that changes everything that we have as a domino effect going through our life. So main 2 things that you need to know how to do is going to make sure that you need to know how to make a decision. Very important in your life and relationships. You need to know how to make a decision, and you need to learn on how to make a decision with your life and your relationships. That's going to be like the top that you need to make sure that you start understanding this. And these are the series that I'm going to be, kicking off, which is going to actually dive deep into our conscious or subconscious thinking, or or purpose in life, just the direction of how we need to start putting into our life and making sure that we get what we really want out of our life, and making sure that we're living our true being. Okay. So for today we have the topic of today is going to be peace of mind in relationships, and we do have 7 things that we're going to be going through, which is going to have to deal with this segment of series where your purpose is to learn how to make your decisions with your life and your relationship. Okay, so kicking it off now, peace of mind. What do you think when you think about your peace of mind? What is it that you think that you have to do to make sure you have that perfect peace of mind? You making sure that, okay, this is what I need to make sure I have peace of mind within myself, with around people that is around me, and how do I live my day-to-day life? Pretty much. Now, means pretty much with the peace of mind, it's going to be your freedom from fear, anxiety, and guilt. Okay, you want to make sure that you're free from that from your life. You don't want to have any, you want to have that freedom to do what you want to do. You don't want to have these fears of you can't do this, you can't do that. And you don't want to be guilty living your life thinking that, oh my God, this, that, should I do this? Should I do that? You really need to have clarity on all the decision making that you're making throughout your life. And that is super important. So I'm just going to touch in 3 different aspects of that, and 3 solutions that can help you through that. I know I've gone down the road of just making so many bad decisions, and at the time I was like, these decisions are really set me back. But you have to remember too, it's better you make a decision and move on versus making no decision. Okay, so if you make no decision, then you're stagnant. You make a decision, it was a mistake, you get to that mistake quicker than if you did not make a decision, and then you move on quicker with your life and you go on. So it's going to be super important for you to make decisions when decisions need to be made. Okay, Now, number one is going to be constant anxiety about being left or cheated on. I know I have this anxiety over and over and over. And number one solution would be for that is to actually practice radical honesty with yourself first, journaling your fears. So that's going to be something that's super, super important for you to start doing immediately if you realize that you're having anxiety, of people actually leaving you. Number two is going to be carrying the guilt from your past mistakes. So with some of the relationships that I have had, with those experiences and those, trauma, it's been so stressful. Just like when you meet somebody, I think you start looking at that person as if, do they have those faults? Or as soon as you see something, you're like, oh my God, that's a red flag. And sometimes you're just overthinking it. Relate to me, ladies, relate to me, guys. You have these past relationships, you in a new relationship, and now you start judging super quick because you have these bad experiences. So try to make sure that you're not bringing in all of those, past baggage into a new relationship, which this person is totally different, totally new, and you have to relearn, who this person really is, and what kind of relationship you're going to have with this person. So solution for this is going to be to creating healthy boundaries instead of avoiding the issues. When any issues arise, make sure that you start creating these boundaries with your spouse. Again, doesn't have to be your spouse. It can be your dad, your mom, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your aunt. It can be anybody in your life, because these principles or these, rules go to any relationship that you have in your life. It doesn't have to be, your spouse or your husband. It can be anybody, a friend. Any relationship you have in life, these rules and these, guidelines is definitely going to go for those relationship, any relationship. Now, number three is going to be fear of speaking your truth because of conflict. Now, I have done this so many times in my life, and I tell you guys, I've seen where I have just been stagnant for a while in relationships, both, sexual or, intimate relationships, friends, families, and just not to create an argument, I avoid speaking my truth because I think it would be better in that situation. So be very mindful of this, that you are more harming yourself, holding everything in, and then, maybe years down the line, you just explode in the wrong way, which that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure that you put out your truth, your views, your core values. If, whatever is happening in that relationship at the time, it doesn't matter. You have to speak your truth, okay? And make them know that this is your truth and these are your values, and it does not line up with theirs. And this relationship either is not going to work, or if you want it to work, then we're going to start to sit down and try to make try to compromise, try to talk it out to make sure that we have a healthy relationship. If this person care for you, love you, and really respect you, they are going to want to do that for you. And if they don't, then you already know, as you hear me say a lot of time on this channel, you already know, move on, okay? Because we're not here to change anybody, and we can't change anybody. The only person we can change is ourselves, okay? Now, solution for this is going to be to use common routines. Like you breathe, you can do a prayer, you meditate before your conversation, so you get into the right frame of mind. You get into have that right attitude when you get into a conversation with somebody that you think that is going to cause an argument. It's gonna, they're not going to agree with you. Take a moment to just do all this, before you actually have that conversation, so that you can be in a calm state and not being, throwing fire and making a huge argument. Because you have to remember too, anytime you have an argument, at the end of the day, it's not benefiting anybody. You know, when you reach that stage where you're going back and forth and arguing, it's not good for you. It's not good for the other party. You're not getting anywhere. You're just going around in circles. So you have to know, going very calm, and you have to make sure that you are going to be, you know, very understanding and listening to the other person to make sure that you can hear their point of view, and vice versa. And if you get into a situation where you think that this person is not listening to you, or not respecting you, or not, you know, taking consideration into your core values of what you're trying to explain to that person, then you already know that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Don't waste your time going back and forth for days and weeks and months and years, and you're going through the same conversation. It makes no sense. It wastes your time, and it wastes their time. Okay, so you definitely don't want to do that. So guys, that's it for day one, peace of mind in your relationship. Okay, so let me just go ahead and do a quick recap. The meaning of those peace of mind is going to be that you are free from your fear, anxiety, and guilt. Okay, some of the things that might pop up is going to be your constant anxiety about being left or cheated on. Number two is going to be carrying guilt from that past mistake that you had, those past relationships that you have. Number three is going to be fear of speaking your truth because of conflict. And then you do have your solutions for all these things that can be popping up in your relationships from time to time. It's going to be practice radical honest with yourself first. You can do your journaling as well. Number two, create healthy boundaries instead of avoiding these issues. Avoiding them is just putting back your relationship in time, okay? Number three is going to be use calming routine, breathe, just do some good meditation, and making sure that you know, pray. You don't have to be a Christian to pray. I'm not a Christian, and I'm very spiritual. You know, I believe in, you know, God. I believe in a superior being. I believe, you know, that somebody else created us. However, whatever works for you to get into that state of being calm and collective going into this conversation is going to be best. Okay, guys, so there you have it. This is day one. Again, this is going to be your peace of mind, making sure that you are successful in your life and in all your relationships that you have. If you know anybody that this content could help, please pass it along. I would definitely want them to have it. And if you like my content, I would like for you to just hit that like and subscribe and hit that notification button. Anytime a video is dropped, you are going to be notified. And again, if you need my help, please, as you see below, you have all my information from my website to contact me. Thank you, guys. This is Nancy Mitchell with Love Guru, your guide to better relationships. Peace. I'm out.